Thank you. Welcome to the Roland GRIMES, not just sports and entertainment show. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Thanks for your patience and all the good stuff that you've brought tonight to the Society Lounge. I am your host, Wilbur Skipper, also known as Mr. Self-Empowerment. We are taping live, by the way, from the Society Lounge, 8229 Georgia Avenue in downtown Silver Spring, Maryland. Our guest this evening is going to talk about fitness. But before he talks about fitness, I have someone that can talk about fitness as well, and he is my co-host. Please put your hands together for the CEO of Helms Fitness and my co-host, Eugene Helms.
Thank you, thank you. How you doing, Skip?
Doing fine, Eugene.
Good.
We're in the house. I kind of feel like I'm at a disadvantage because I'm not quite where these brothers are right now. Cut up, laid up. I'm not quite there yet. You can't tell because I'm in this custom suit, so it's covering up a lot of stuff. But I'm going to get there. Between these two brothers, I'm going to work it out. Our guest this evening is the CEO of a wonderful, wonderful fitness organization called Beyond Fitness. Please help me welcome our guest, Mr. Bevard from Beyond Fitness.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Skip.
How you doing, young man?
I'm doing great, man. I'm proud to be here, man.
Okay, so I'm in between the two fitness guys.
Right.
But I want to start with you and your story.
Okay.
How did you come into fitness and when did it start?
Basically, man, you can't help but to be in fitness when you're growing up watching Bruce Lee and Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. You know what I'm saying? Your father putting that on you, and you looking at it, you seeing it, and you just do it, and it becomes a passion. And you become a passion, and it's just so glad that God actually let me come into the business that way, or just put that in me that way. I didn't know this. I was just doing this, having fun, you know. Want to have the physique, look nice, take the shirt off at the beach type thing. But then it comes, and God gives me a vision, and He allows me to put it in an incubator and actually let it grow.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So when you look back at fitness before Eugene jumps in, when you look at your fitness, was that something that was on the radar for you, or did you fall into it by accident?
Actually, I want to say I fall into it by accident. It was just nothing as far as the business part.
Yeah.
Okay.
The business part, I fell into it by accident. Because like I said, I've been doing this for years. I mean, my father had me lifting weights at a young age. Matter of fact, our home gym was underneath my bunk bed. You know what I'm saying? We got dumbbells, the barbells under there. That's how it all got started. The business part, I just fell into it. It was actually a joke.
Okay.
You know, I was playing around with a classroom assignment in my junior year of college, and it just happened. I'm living it. I'm living it. I'm glad I made that decision to step out on faith and just continue to walk on water with it.
Well, obviously, you're doing a great job at it, and we appreciate you being a guest and coming on the show.
Right.
Now, we're going to delve into a lot more. Eugene?
Well, one of the questions I want to ask Carlos is that, as far as the business aspect, how long have you been in business?
I've been in business since 2008. 2008, I started right out of college.
Okay.
Right. That plan. That's the plan that I had. That I made up, as like I said, as a joke. As it came. Actually, my company is called at first Potential Performance. I just wanted, you go back. I just wanted to work with athletes at first.
Exactly.
But then God showed me how the general public needs my service.
Exactly.
So when I got that vision of it, the plan that I had to go aside, and his plan had to be implemented into the business, not my own plan.
Back to the Roland GRIMES, not just sports and entertainment show. If you missed the first segment, you missed a good deal because we were talking to Mr. Carlos Bevard, the CEO of Beyond Fitness. We are now joined by Dr. Sephen Hill. One of the two ways I got it right. So if I missed it, he'll correct me on that. He is a chiropractor. Have you ever had any back problems? Have you ever woke up in the morning and you had stiffness in your spine and you tried to figure out what was going on? Have you ever had any problems with your spines that didn't have anything to do with waking up?
Right.
Guess what? That's why we have the doctor in the house, because he's going to tell you how to relieve those problems. Dr. Sephen Hill, welcome to the Roland GRIMES show.
Doesn't know what chiropractic is. Chiropractic is a form of medicine that deals specifically with the spine and the nervous system and how diseases affect that. Okay. So in that sense, it deals with a lot of things, because if you think about it, your brain, tells your body what to do.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So all those nerves go through your spine and exit out to certain areas to, make your body function. Okay, which kind of rolls into the sports because, if you want to function properly in the sports arena, you want to make sure your hamstrings, your quads, your knees, your shoulders, everything is functioning optimally.
Okay, so let me set this up the right way. I have a back problem. I come to you. You determine what's going on with my back. But then I know I'm going to have to see Carlos Bevard later on the fitness side because I need some training.
Right.
I need some exercising. So walk me through your process, and then I want Carlos to walk us through his process after you release me to go to Carlos. So we'll start with you.
Okay. So normally if a patient comes to see me, they have lower back or neck pain for whatever reason. It could also be joint pain, knees, shoulders. So what we normally do is we do an exam. Okay, we go through ranges of motion, orthopedic tests, what's bothering you, what's causing the pain, and then we also take x-rays. We take the x-rays because we want to see what the alignment of your spine is looking like. Do you have a scoliotic curve? Do you have rotations? Do you have...
Okay, so Doc, hold on a second because you said a word that just flew right over my head. Now, I'm not sure if you all are paying attention to the word. Do y'all remember? No, I'm not even going to ask that question. You probably don't remember. So why don't you go back? You said it begins with an S. That's what I remember. So why don't you break that down?
So a scoliotic curve or scoliosis is when you have a curvature in your spine. So in essence, your spine is supposed to be straight, up and down, okay? But for whatever reason, that's why we call it idiopathic scoliosis. Your spine starts to curve at a certain age for some people. So that can cause problems
So now,
later on in
Carlos.
life.
Right.
So now I come to you with a clean bill to get some exercise to help improve my status based on my back.
Right.
So what are some of the steps you're going to take as when I come to you? Walk me through your steps.
Well, I'm actually the next step, like you said, because once you leave him, I actually want to take over from there, and I have to, if you can hit me, the chart, the same chart that he said that you're going to do the x-rays that he did on you, I look at that chart and see where did you start when you first was with him, and where did you progress to? And now my thing is to take you past that. There's another reason why it's called Beyond Fitness. So your thing is, like, say if you was a football player or a sports player, now I gotta get you, he got you to be able so you can actually function. Right? Period. Wherever you playing sports. Now my thing is to get you back on the field, back on the court, and everything. So I have to look and figure what joints I need to strengthen, what muscle groups I need to strengthen, and all that. What joints need range of motion, improvement in your range of motion. Do the same thing that you were doing on the court to mimic the movements that you be doing on the court, on the field, on the tennis court, anything. So you can be able to flex and extend and it's do whatever your body needs to do so you can perform whatever activity that you're normally doing. Except for what he did was to make sure that you can live without any pain, period. My job is to make sure I can put you back in the field, even as a regular person, back on your job. Say if you work for UPS, he's just get you just to stand up again, make sure you can walk without any pain. My job is to make sure that you can actually perform your job.
Exactly. Okay,
Right.
G.
Doc, how often do you feel that a person should get realigned?
It's all on a case-by-case basis. A lot of people come in and they're like, oh man, I have to come in like 3 times a week or twice a week. But if you think about it, what causes a lot of the spinal issues is from things like, for one, not working with these guys to begin with. So you're in there, you're doing your squats, you're doing the heavy lifting, and you're doing them wrong.
Right.
Easy way to mess yourself up. But then you think about, you're sitting in the office, so you have poor posture, poor sleeping posture. So all those things over the years, playing football, playing sports.
Exactly.
So that's why we always want to see people from a young age. But you're doing all those things, so over time is what causes the degeneration and the issues. So when we see you, you finally come into us and you're 35, it takes some time. We got to get you back to where you need to be. So a lot of times we see people, if they're like in acute pain, we see them 3 times a week for a little bit, then maybe twice a week. Then we work you down to once a week. The goal is to get you to maintenance care. So when you're healthy, when you're feeling good, you should always go see a chiropractor once a month. If you move to California, find a chiropractor, see him once a month. Okay? So even when I release you and you go to these guys, still come back and see me once a month to make sure your spine is moving. Right.
Okay, so now I have a question that I think a lot of folks, especially in our viewing audience, live, and also people all over the world that are watching the show, may have an interest in wanting to know how and why things happen when we sleep. Now, for some reason, you can find yourself in a very awkward position sleeping and wake up the next morning like something just buried your back into a storm. But before you went to sleep, you were fine. Talk a little bit about that posture, the sleeping posture, and how it relates to something like that.
Well, I think it's a twofold issue with the sleeping. For one, is the posture. You should only sleep on your back or your side. Don't sleep on your stomach. We all like to sleep on our stomach. You can't breathe, so you end up turning your neck, end up getting that wide neck or crick in your neck. Okay. If you sleep on your back, if you have back issues, you can sleep on your back with a pillow underneath your legs. But back or side is the thing. But I find people don't stretch enough.
Yes.
So if you're not stretching enough,
exactly.
if you're not stretching enough, when you go to sleep, you're not moving, right? For the most part, so the tissues get cold. When you wake up, it's kind of harder to move the tissues. That's why a lot of people older in age, they wake up, they get stiff. So once they start moving around, they feel a lot better. So I think the key is sleeping on your back and your side and making sure you're stretching. Stretch at night, stretch in the morning.
Okay, well, folks, we're going to take a break, but when we come back, Eugene Helms is going to jump in. I see him jumping.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
ready.
you know it.
He has some
You know
fiery
it.
questions ready for you. So we'll be right back on the Roland Grimes Not Just Sports and Entertainment Show.
Hello, my name is Dr. Arthur McClunu. I've dedicated my life to providing surgical care to patients with heart disease. My life began in the slums of Soweto in South Africa, where I learned to overcome adversity and illnesses, including the death of my best friend. That's why I want to be a resource for you and your family for consultation related to heart and cardiovascular needs. You can learn more about me by visiting my website, which is at zuluchaskada.com.